This documentary is about misogyny, but it's told almost entirely through men, and that's been sitting a bit weird with me. I watched Louis Theroux's Inside the Manosphere documentary, and I kept thinking about how easy it is to fall into that world. It doesn't start extreme, it starts with self-improvement, like money, discipline, confidence, and then slowly it shifts into something that tells you who to blame, who to resent, who you're entitled to, and there's a whole ecosystem for it, the manosphere, where men are being told this really specific story, that they are losing, that women are winning, and the world is unfair to them. There's language for it the documentary talks about, this red pill thinking, male grievance, and it sounds like awareness, but it's actually about resentment. And the documentary shows all of it, and you can see the pipeline happening in real time. But the whole time I was watching, I kept noticing what wasn't there, because we hear men talk about women constantly in this, what women want, what women are, what women do to men, but we never really hear from the women themselves. And I think that matters more than the documentary realizes, because it's not theory, it's not just online discourse. We know that misogyny doesn't stay online. It shows up in schools, it shows up in harassment. Like, millions of women in the UK experience abuse from men every year. It shows up online, where most women are dealing with intimidation and threats or being pushed out of spaces entirely. Like, it has a real physical impact on people's lives. So when you make a documentary about misogyny and you don't really center those experiences, it creates this strange gap, right? Where we understand the mindset, but not the consequences, where women become the topic, but not the voice. And there's a term for that, that's the male gaze, where the world is framed through men's perspectives and women exist more as ideas than as people. Because you can watch the whole thing and never really sit with what it actually feels like to live on the other side of those beliefs, to be the person being reduced or blamed or targeted. And I don't think this documentary is useless. I think it's really important. I think it just leaves something hanging. Like, if this is the story being told about women over and over and over again to millions of boys, and women aren't even in the room to respond, what does that do to the way that we understand reality? You know, who gets to define it, and who just has to live with it? Just my thoughts.